Hey everyone, it's me, it's Zach. Hello, and welcome to a Q&A slash FAQ thing. I know I said a while ago, by a while ago I mean like a year ago, that I was gonna do this, but I kind of, let's say I wasn't most confident in my abilities then. So here I am now with this. I'm warning, this might get really long just because I do have FAQ and Q&A like questions in here. The Q&A and the FAQ portions will be, not the Q&A, but the FAQ parts, like both parts that I will be going into will be up on like my Tumblr, DeviantART, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And before I get into this, another thing, I'm going to be excluding questions that can literally be asked by like looking at my channel, like, do you like Star vs. the Forces of Evil? Like, I wonder, do I? Like, it's like I haven't done a speed paint on it or something. You know, like things that can be asked, like answered, like just by looking at my channel, or if I've mentioned it in a previous video, I'm not gonna be answering. Also questions like, can you fuse X and X gem? Because that question has been answered in the Fusion Friday FAQ, which you can find on the, I think on some of the earlier videos you can't find that, but definitely on like the newer videos you'll be able to find the FAQ for Fusion Friday, and I will also be uploading that to my other social media and things like that, so you can, you know, access it there. So let's get into this. First question from the software end of things from the FAQ is, what kind of tablet do I use? I use a small Wacom Pen and Touch. I'm pretty sure Wacom rebranded it, so it's now like Wacom Edit, Wacom Draw, and another Wacom thing. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure like it's been divided in 3 things. But I think the one that you should go for is the Wacom Draw. But yeah, I own, I guess, one of the older looking ones. Second question is, what programs do I use for drawing? For the most part, I use Paint Tool Sci for my drawings and Photoshop for editing and adding effects like stars and doing all that stuff. But I do occasionally doodle in Photoshop and use Fire Alpaca for a line art. I like the Fire Alpaca default line art brush. Third question is, what do I use to animate? As of right now, I'm using Fire Alpaca to animate. I sometimes color in it, but that's kind of a new habit that I've developed. I used to use Sci to color in the finished line art frames. What do you use to edit your speed paints and animations? For speed paints, I just use Movie Maker to speed it up, like the clip. I don't actually know how to speed it up to the amount that I want in Sony Vegas, because every time I speed it up, there's like a certain part that I can't get past, and I don't know how to fix that. But after I speed it up, then I just use Sony Vegas to add audio and voiceover to it. But if there's no voiceover, then I just use Movie Maker and slap that bad boy together. For animations, when they're in their rough stage, I just kind of use Movie Maker to sort of get the feel for timing and stuff like that, just to kind of put really quick in placements. And then after I have most of it lined, I put them in Sony Vegas for a second test, and when all the frames are done and I have the backgrounds, I put the frames in Sony Vegas and I edit it. Personal FAQ. What's your real name? I'm not telling that to you guys. No. Who's Zach? I'm Zach. It's shortened from Zacro, which, you know, I just applied the double C to Zach. You know, like from the suck meme or whatever the fuck. I don't really like being called Kit or Zacro, though I'm not gonna drag someone if they do. I like the name Zach, and when referring to myself in vids and like other stuff, it's, you know, it's a nice nickname, and I think it, you know, it suits me. How old are you? I'm 17 years old as of recording this video. I was born 18th of July 2000, and my sign is a Cancer. I like crabs. Where are you from / what is your nationality? I was born in Australia and currently live in Macedonia, but my nationality is Serbian Chinese. I know a lot of people think I'm American because of the way I speak. They're like, you don't sound Australian, huh? Or you don't have an accent. And I can't really tell you why that is. I guess it could, but whatever. What languages do you know? Right now, just English and Macedonian, though for the most part I can understand like Serbian, Croatian, those kind of languages. I can sort of understand Russian, but only if I read it. I kind of want to learn Chinese and French though one day, so that's a thing. When did you start drawing and taking it seriously? I mean, you know, as a kid, you always kind of drew and like scribbled and doing that stuff, but I never really like took it seriously and like wanted to go somewhere with it until it was about 11 or 12, kind of when I first got into, like, when I first got my first DeviantArt account, which is now deactivated, and it used to be Kitsune Dash Zakuro, and now I'm just Kitsune Zakuro. Honestly, I don't know why I put the dash in the username or anything. It wasn't, like, taken, so where did you learn to draw? I am a self-taught artist, and I only recently started going to, like, art class lessons, but those are kind of weird, and I might do a video on that. But everything I learned is pretty much from the internet. When did you start animating? Oof. This is kind of a tough question because I started animating at like 12, 11 when I first got my first DSi. I used to animate in Hatena Flipnote. That was like a little program that you had on there, and you know, that was sure an experience. It wasn't anything serious or good, and I often stopped animating for like long periods of time and then took it back up again and then stopped, and then it was just kind of like a never-ending cycle of like, I'm gonna animate like all day today, and then like, I'm not gonna animate for like 3 months. I guess my habit hasn't changed. So officially, I guess I started animating then, but just like drawing, I never actually started taking seriously until about 7 months ago. So I'm a fairly new animator, but I really love animation, and I'm determined to get better. Do you like anime, and what are your favorites? I have a complicated relationship with anime because I do love it, I really do. I just don't like most of it. I'm super picky when it comes to it. When it comes to what I watch. It's sort of a mix of not having enough time for it and not really liking that dead-ass moe style. I don't really have a favorite genre or anything. I just like what I like. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I don't see anime as a genre. Like a lot of people do, I just kind of see it as a type of style of like animating in. So anime to me is just, you know, another piece of media. With that said, my favorite anime are, or some of my favorites are, I guess if you consider it anime, but most of Ghibli. I say my top two films from Ghibli are Kiki's Delivery Service and Spirited Away. FMAB, Dokusei? I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's like super sweet and cute. Yuri on Ice, JoJo, though I haven't finished it all. Perfect Blue, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Boku no Hero Academia, Madoka Magica, and Elfen Lied, or Lead, or however you pronounce that. And I know it's bad anime, but it holds a lot of nostalgic value to me because it was my first, like, completely finished anime at, like, the prime age of 9. So, those are a few to name, and, those are the ones that I really care about anyway, I suppose. Like, if people were asking me, these are usually ones that I say. What's your favorite cartoon? I wonder what it could be. Yeah, it's not like a draw out of a certain cartoon or anything. Anyway, that's enough for most of the FAQ. If there's something that I've missed, I'll make sure to update it, and this FAQ, as I said before, will be available on my social media. Now to get into those, the official Q&A. So first up, we are you a Homestuck? This is kind of gonna be tied in with a few other questions regarding Homestuck. So yes, I do. I love Homestuck. I am a Homestuck. I currently am doing a Homestuck thing with my friends. My background on my computer is a thing that I drew for Homestuck regarding my trollsonas, which is, you know, nice segue into the next question. It's, or rather the other question, but, what's your favorite troll? And that would have to be, and I don't want to be basic, but I love Karkat. I love him, and I relate to him a lot. He's crabby, like that, check. Red, check. Angry, check. Short, check. Insecure, check. Loud, check. Emo, check. He's me, but he's also Keith. I have like a type of emo, red, angry, short character. It's like, I like. Anyway, how many trollsonas do I have is the question. I have 2 of them, and one of them I don't really use anymore, and it's just, you know, it's just the little troll me that I kind of used a while back, but since then I've made my government assigned troll. I'm a Kanza, Limeblood. I'm using that for a D&D sort of RP with my friends. This troll's based off of me, but it's also a semi-OC, but still very me at heart. They're a mutant blood and basically a friend card cat. I have a reference page up with most of the details about them. You can see that on my DeviantArt. But for now, I'll just read off some of the things quickly. The troll name is Verito Mensa, coming from the Roman gods Veritas and Mens. Veritas being the Roman goddess of truth, and Mens being the Roman goddess of mind. Lucis is a giant crabo-stabo. It's just a giant knife crab. My god here is Rogue of Mine. Lunar Sway is Durst, Land of Fortune and Beaches. My handle is Apperception Cardalgia. I'm not pronouncing that right. My talking quirk is replacing C and CK with double C and the O's with O's in brackets. And my strife specialist is Knifekind. Will you have an upload schedule? Please make more videos, says Spoof Moof. I want to have an upload schedule, but I can't really keep it. School always changes from first and second shift, and it makes it super hard for me to keep a uploading schedule. It's easy if I just have first shift constantly, because second shift starts from 2 p.m. and goes till about 7 to 7:30, and I get home around 8 or 7:30 depending on when I finish that day. And it's really hard for me to make videos and put them up consistently, like on time and stuff. So maybe again in the future I will with Fusion Friday, but for now I'm just gonna, try and make it through the school year until summer. What drew you to Steven Universe when you first saw it? Forest Deer. Rebecca Sugar. I was such a Rebecca Sugar stan when I was watching Adventure Time. I just loved everything she did. Her songs, her designs, her boards, etc. Like all of it, I just loved Rebecca Sugar. Like I loved her so much. And when I found out she was making a show, I was like, oof, B, yes. And most things as most things I love, I forget about them for like a little bit and then come back to them to obsess over them for like a long time again. And my friend Maria brought up Steven Universe again, and I was like, ooh, that aired, really? And like most shows, I put it up for a good month or two, and I finally like sit down and watch it, and I fell in love, and I've been in love ever since. Poist Man Cake asks, pineapple or no pineapple on pizza? Had I the choice, no pineapple. However, I think people give pineapple on pizza a bad rep. It's not the worst fucking thing in the world. Like, pineapple on pizza is over-exaggerated. Like, it's so over-exaggerated. It's literally not even that bad. At, like, a party, if the only pizza left were, like, pineapple pizza, I would take it. I don't care. I wouldn't say no. But, if I had the option, I would choose not to go with it, because I don't like pineapple on pizza. But I think people need to shut up being so critical about pineapple on pizza. It's not that bad. Get over yourselves. Who's your favorite Steven Universe character? I probably should have put this in FAQ, and I might do it like when it's all written and done. But my favorite character is Pearl. Oh, Pearl. Pearl. I have loved Pearl from the goddamn beginning. Through the Sardonyx arc and everything. I love Pearl. Pearl is my wife, my bae, my everything. I love Pearl so much. I love her and I relate to her so much, and she's my favorite. And I love her. Paint Cauldron asks, how long have you been drawing, taking art seriously, and are you happy with your art style? The first part of that question I already answered in the FAQ, so hey. So to answer the second part of your question, I'd say I'm okay with my art style. I'm not, too happy about it. I'm not like sad. I'm just kind of like, it could use some work, that kind of stuff. I like my painting style, my usage of colors, and I'm very confident in that. But in like my actual like style, I feel like I could do better, and that's an issue I'm trying to overcome, where it's not like just critical thinking and knowing that there's always room for improvement, but it comes from a place of perfectionism and insecurity, and that's bad and not a good way of thinking. You should always strive to be better, but you shouldn't like be such a like defeatist and like so mean and rude towards yourself. So I guess it's but yeah. Herbal Plegum asks, do you plan on making a comic anytime? Oof. I actually kind of have a comic that I haven't updated in a year, and I really should update it. But it isn't my first idea for a comic, and I have lots of others in the works. Mostly, like, some to do with, like, a pair or a squad of wizard children that I have. So, when that comes, you'll see. What's your favorite brand of oatmeal? Asks Maya. I usually just buy the store brand type, but, Any oatmeal is good oatmeal with a little bit of love.
Girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Yuma asks, why your OCs wildin'? Cause they depressed, man. Like me. Who's your biggest inspiration when you were younger? Asks my lovely wife. Crowds. Oh, crowds. So my inspirations were Spyro, pretty much. Y'all think I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Spyro, like, got me into digitally drawing and, like, doing that stuff. And, you know, when I was younger, I'd, like, crack open MS Paint and draw Spyro Extender stuff. And, you know, it got me into wanting to do video game design and art and concept stuff, and eventually led me to animation. Pokemon was also a really big one. When I was a kid, anime slowly came into my life. As mentioned previously, my first anime, I finished it when I was, like, 9. Pokemon, I just drew a lot of it, a lot of Pokemon fan art, and it was a thing I could bond over at school because not a lot of kids knew or played or loved Spyro as much as I did, so, you know, I just kind of hung out and did Pokemon stuff, so, you know, love those. Definitely had an impact on me and wanting to get into, like, this sort of industry, I guess. Ultra Zeron asks, where did you get the inspiration for all your animations? This is a weird question considering they're animation memes. The thing is, like, you know, the thing's there's a concept, I just slap my OCs in there. I could go into the thought process of how I do my animation memes and, you know, all that kind of stuff, but I feel like that'd be more appropriate for another video. So, Mouthless Mouse asks, how do you find the time to draw with school and such? I would also love to know the answer to this question. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm not that good at scheduling my own life. I think, for the most part, I can kind of handle stress. Kinda. Like, when it comes down to, like, working and doing that stuff, I can suck it up. But that often means breaking down every now and then, sobbing myself to sleep for the, like, next 2 weeks straight. So, you know, I'm just mostly winging it. I don't know. It's a living, I guess. Baby Space Derudo asks, it says you live in Macedonia. When did you learn English? As mentioned previously, I was born in Australia, so English is my first language. I lived in Australia for about 10 to 11 years, and then I came to Macedonia, and I learned that as a second language. Cool Breeze 12 asks, do you like jazz? Okay, but the serious question was, what kind of music do I like? And, as some of you might know, I fucking love My Chemical Romance, and I know it's kind of 2018, but I'm still stuck in 2004. Leave me alone. Okay, but to go into, like, I don't know, serious? I don't know. I'll talk about MCR later. I like most music, any kind of music at all, pretty much. I listen to really bad 70s, 80s, and 90s pop. That kind of indie rock hipster shit's also pretty cool. Just, I guess, indie music in general. I like alt rock, punk rock, that kind of stuff. My favorite like musicians in, you know, that area would probably be Daughter, Atlas, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, Gerard Way, Wham / George Michael, Whitney Houston, Childish Gambino, and you know, that stuff. And my all-time favorite band is My Chemical Romance. I'm 12 again. I love My Chemical Romance. MCR has been there for me through my teenage angst and still continues to do so and support me. I love them. They are quality. I kind of sort of, like, I used to sort of be what I guess some people would call a fake fan, though I think that's, you know, kind of dumb and shouldn't label things like that, but, I only listen to the, like, Black Parade and all of Danger Days. Like, you know, they're more kind of tame, radio-friendly stuff, and I was ashamed about listening to MCR, but I also kind of used it as a, ooh, I'm so different. I mean, I was 12, like 11, 12, leave me alone, I was a child, but, you know, I really appreciate them now. Some of it's ironic just because of, you know, the whole kind of ooh, emo around it, but I'd say most of it is not ironic. And I genuinely love My Chemical Romance, and I think they're good, and, you know, I'm not ashamed, or say I'm sorry. I'm just a boy who has to sing this song. No, seriously, I love MCR. Bleg asks, what's my favorite Taz character? Taco. I just love him so much. He's so funny and goofy, and just, he's a mood. He's such a mood. He's, Taco is my main man. Taco is just, love him. Still haven't finished it. I'm at the beginning of the Suffering Game arc, so you know, we getting there. Hanbin asks, what are you going to do after high school? Are you going to an art school? Yeah, I guess so. Those are my plans. At first, I wanted to go to the US and study and, you know, do all that stuff. But looking at prices and stuff, honestly, the Czech Republic looking tight. I intend to go to college after high school for animation. So, I mean, I'm only in my second year of high school, so, you know, I've got a bit of time to think about it and organize myself. But I much intend on going to study animation in the future. So, yeah. Mr. Non-Existent asks, will you replace my father? Yes. Amari-chan, coming straight from 2008, asks, waffles or pancakes? Both. Derp Flame Warrior asks, who inspired you to draw? Also, what is your all-time favorite animal? I don't really know who inspired me to draw. I mean, I guess I do, and it's a weird story. So my sister was kind of naturally gifted in art, kinda, and I was just being a wee bab of like 4 years old, and I was kind of jealous and determined to be better. So I guess it kind of stemmed from my competitive nature and doing that. So I guess if you want to call that an inspiration, sure. Now I no longer really have that sort of motivation to, like, that's not my motivation anymore for art. Right now it's just kind of like to be able to create is great. But also my favorite animal, you know, foxes. Comes to surprise no one, but I also really like crabs. They're really cute. And the final question, which is also an FAQ and in every single, like, everywhere, is, where's Fusion Friday? Okay, listen. It'll come back eventually. I'm still trying to work on the video. I've got other things that I'm working on as well. I can't just focus on it, and I want to first do things where I know that I can consistently do it and not be so stressed about it, because like I mentioned before with trying to organize myself in like schedules and times and stuff, like I want to be able to do it properly, or at least like know that I won't die when I do it, or like just hate it so much like it did like the last round. It was so stressful. So yeah, so it'll come back eventually. Please stop fucking asking me. Anyway, that concludes this FAQ thingy. I hope you enjoyed it. This video is very, very long, so I'm going to end it now. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope that, you know, you got your questions answered. This was, I was supposed to upload an animation meme for my 90k, you know, subscriber thing, but I think that's gonna be for like the 100k. So hopefully I'll be able to get it till then. So, yeah, thank you guys for your support and stuff, and I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you. And, yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna hop out. I hope you had a lovely day, and I will see you in whatever I make next time. So, yeah, bye-bye!